Hello everyone and welcome to part 2 of a replay between Jubei and STX here in the Xel'Naga Caverns. Jubei right now outside STX base with a very large Protoss force and a pylon will be able to warp in additional units as well. You also see Jubei setting up another expansion over here on this low ground area and also getting a couple pylons as well. Will be able to warp in some additional units very freely as these sentries now moving out front, and this is going to be a very nice positioning for him as those marauders are going to be unable to engage, and a lot of these production buildings will simply just get hit here. As soon as he starts dropping down more and more of these force fields here and here, he will also be able to just simply round around the corner or just deal a lot of damage around this corner. However, not looking to do that, instead backing off. A little curious as to why he was backing off. He is now waiting for that one observer to show up, and with that observer he will be able to move out and see what exactly is going to be happening. We do see one observer quickly getting shot down out of the sky there and by those Vikings. So those Vikings doing a good job trying to make sure that Jubei does not have free sight and information into this base. We do see more Ghosts currently being trained and another Colossus being trained as well. A couple of these siege tanks now trying to engage, and now Zealots getting splashed away by these siege tanks. So STX doing a good job trying to make sure that this expansion, his expansion is very well protected. We do see a lot of units back over here, and now one Ghost trying to make its way out. One Ghost will be able to take down that one probe very easily and now continue to just move around on this field. So this one Ghost trying to get an EMP shockwave and trying to deal more and more critical damage. We do see the Nexus over here now with 2 additional gateways as well. So now Jubei running into a very strong economic and macro game so far. We do see 2 gateways currently being warped in, 1 gateway being warped in here, and now finally that Templar archives that I was talking about in order to round off everything. We do see Marauders now trying to come in and trying to stim straight into this Nexus over here. This Nexus has already now down to 300 hit points here. It will make it taken down. Down it goes. However, that Marauder attacking force quickly getting taken down as well. Apparently those Colossi does not like that one pylon either, and taking it down and making sure that it, I don't know why, there's probably a misclick back over here. Now we see STX currently getting the command or a command center here, and now upgrading to a planetary fortress. So that planetary fortress, as we've seen in games past, is a very strong and powerful defensive building. However, we do not see the level 1 or the Terran plating upgrade for the command center, so this will only have an armor upgrade of 3 instead of the possible armor upgrade of 5. That means that these stalkers will be able to push in very easily and perhaps deal enough damage. There are a couple Colossi here as well, and now 1 observer in the air. If these Colossi decide to, they can in fact just try to attack this planetary fortress with that range of 9 compared to the range of 6 siege tanks, too far away to really deal any significant damage, as well as those Zealots now simply just try to come around, and very nicely done. In comes some force fields. Marauders unable to really engage in there, and that planetary fortress just simply torn apart very quickly. Immortals joining in on that fight, able to deal 50 damage per attack. And now, once again, you see STX with a very large army indeed trying to move out. The STX also has 1-1 upgrades on these Marauders compared to the 0-0-0 upgrades on these Stalkers. And now the Colossi General come in here, try to engage. Zealots also getting some splash damage across as well. Siege tanks trying to fight back. More force field coming in. So a lot of those Marauders are unable to engage back and forth. A lot of those units just taking so much damage. And now this Nexus may get taken down. No, gonna get canceled by Jubei. Jubei wanting to make sure that Nexus is still, he is able to salvage those minerals, and now in come these Colossi. Colossi now coming in from the backside. We do have a lot of Zealot Stalkers blinking in within that 0 range. All of those siege tanks have been taken out, and Marauders trying to come in and trying to engage once again. Are we going to get some Side Storm? Yeah, Side Storm being cast across a lot of those units, and now 1 Colossus has been taken down. However, so much damage being dealt across, and now those Marauders and Marines and 1 siege tank, 2 siege tanks here trying to play a little bit of a defensive game. However, there are just too many Colossi able to deal so much damage, and the sheer army size of Jubei is simply just starting to overwhelm STX. STX also getting a lot of damage dealt across all of those Marauders, Vikings, and Medevacs, taking so much damage, and then STX is forced to leave the game. So STX does not say GG, unable to stay into this game. You saw how fast Jubei was able to take down this planetary fortress. Really smart play by Jubei. Jubei using those sentries, preventing any of those Marauders from being able to come into this position by using this choke point against STX. As soon as this planetary fortress was down, he knew that he didn't have to attack. and Styx knew that he needed to try to deal some damage towards this economic expansion over here. Jubei hardly has any probes down here. I believe some of them were taken down, but the fact that he could transfer a lot of these probes from this main base to this main base and let Styx know that he could not take this game. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed this 1v1 replay between Styx and Jubei here in the Xel'Naga Caverns.